Hey everybody, it's Gina from AuntieGinasCucina. I'm in a really baking kind of mood since I'm not making dinner. I am making the Easter wheat pie, but the way I do it, I make the dough the day before, actually the night before. So it sets all night. So this way I'm not standing at the counter all day doing and whatever and gonna be exhausted. So this is how I do it. So, because I gotta make 4 batches of this. Here's 1 cup. Okay. 2 cups of flour, a half a cup of sugar. I told you this is really easy. Okay. A quarter of a teaspoon of salt, and pop the food processor on. All right, and just give it a pulse so it all mixes together. So, get that out of my way. Turn it on. I have a quarter of a cup of whole butter cubed. All right, toss it in. All right, and I have 3 egg yolks. And now mix. I'm gonna add, because it's a little dry, because it's a little humid out today, about a tablespoon of milk. Come back and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, everybody. Now, a tablespoon of milk. Pour it in. Okay. This is my little secret. It gives it a nice little taste. It's Strega. And I put about a teaspoon in that. And that's it. You might have to add a little bit more milk to make it to come together, but pretty much like this one, I'm afraid, I think you're gonna have to add a little bit more milk because it's so humid and dry. All right? So this is where you play with it. You just keep adding a little milk. All right, let's just do it this way. This is probably easier. Okay. See? And now it's coming together. And you don't got to do nothing. So, all right, let it come together and I'll show you. All right, see? I ended up putting 2 tablespoons of milk and it forms a dough. Now I just make a disc, wrap it in saran wrap and put it in the refrigerator so it sets. So I actually have to make like another 4 of these. So tomorrow all I gotta do is the filling and I'll show you what the filling and how to put it all together. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Gina from AuntieGinasCucina. This morning, I am going to make the Easter wheat pies. I made the dough the night before because it's so much easier. I'm not standing here for hours on end. I figured while everybody's sleeping, let me put these together. I'm first starting with 2 jars of cooked wheat. You can do it with fresh wheat. You boil it the night before, and I don't have time. Again, quick and easy recipes. It's 2 jars. I have 2 teaspoons of water blossom, 12 egg yolks, 8 egg whites. I have 3 pounds of ricotta cheese. I have a cup of scalded milk. I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I have 1 lemon zested. I have about 2 cups of sugar, but these are gonna make about 5 pies. First step, I am going to take the wheat out of the jars and throw it in the milk with a teaspoon of sugar, maybe a little more, and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Make it come to a boil, and then it has to get cool. and then I'm gonna mix the rest of the ingredients. Come back after I cook the wheat. Okay, I did the wheat, it's cooling. Now I have the ricotta. This is the second one. I like the pound and a half, also was on sale. Watch this, quick, and watch how it just pops right out. I'm going to, that's the ricotta, that's 3 pounds of ricotta. Now, I have one. All right, that's a half a cup. That's a cup. I'm just gonna put a cup and a half. I think 2 cups of sugar is a lot. My aunt's recipe was 2 cups. I think it's just way too much sugar. I'm gonna mix this and then come back and I'll show you the rest of these things. All right, everybody. I mixed the ricotta and the sugar. I mix it really good. Now it's pretty much a grab and dump. I have the 12 egg yolks. And I tell you, it's just easier to get everything prepped and it makes such a difference. I have that. I have a teaspoon, no more, whatever, of vanilla. All right, way to go. I have 2 teaspoons of the orange blossom water. And I'm gonna zest this lemon. I had a zester. My daughter took it. So, like I said, my aunt taught me this recipe about more than that, like 35 years ago. She's a great baker. So sometimes you guys have to listen to family members and then tweak things your own way. So it's just that simple. And that's it. Now just mix this up all together. But the next step, by the time I do this, I have the egg whites in my KitchenAid. I'm going to beat this until a white, fluffy, stiff peaks. So come back and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I mixed in the wheat and I have my egg white. See? That's what they should look like. Well, let me get rid of that sucker. Now, put it in and slowly okay, you got to mix it in a little at a time, all right? So. While I'm doing this, I had the oven preheated at 350, all right? So, and I'm going to mix this in and then start rolling out the dough. I'm gonna tell you, I have these cool mats that give you the dimensions of the pie crust, what it should be like. It's been a godsend. It's easy to measure. You don't end up too big, too small, and it has to be about 1/4 of an inch. You don't want it too thick, too thin, because then when you go to slice it, it breaks. Come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I rolled out the dough. I have my 9-inch Pyrex. I use this for myself, but if I'm giving away, I use the disposable one. So, here's a trick. Put the dough between 2 pieces of saran wrap, and now you don't have to fight with it to get it off your sheet. See, it's all nicely done. And just put it on, press it, all right? And then peel. All right, do press down so you don't have any air pockets. So, like I said, yeah, it's a lot of steps, but I gotta tell you, the flavor is unbelievable. The only thing I suggest is poke the bottom of it. Okay, and now just watch. Fill. Okay. The excess dough, we are going to make the lattice pattern. 7 strips. Why? It's a tradition. Again, this is what my aunt told me, and this is what I kept doing. So I'm gonna make the rest of them. The oven is preheating. The rest of my dough is sitting on my back counter, on my stove. So it gets a little soft, because if not, it's as hard as a rock. And I'll show you what they look like before they go in the oven. Because they go in the oven for about an hour until they get nice and golden. And then I turn the oven off and I let them sit in the oven so they settle. But I open the door so they don't continue cooking. But yeah, they're delicious. I'll show you what they look like.